Official tire of the UFC, Curtis Blaydes 29, Alexander Volkov 31. You see the 3-inch discrepancy in height. Now, Curtis Blaydes came in south of 250 for his last fight, 261 pounds here tonight. We'll see if that has any impact. Now, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Anthony Marnell Jr., Executive Director Bob Bennett. Our three judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Eric Cohen, Saul D'Amato, and Chris Lee. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Herb Dean. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, it's time! 5 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 31 wins, 7 losses. He stands 6 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 261 pounds. Fighting out of Moscow, Russia, presenting the number 7 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Alexander Drago Volkov. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 13 wins, 2 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 247 pounds. Fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, presenting the number 3 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Cortez Razor Blaydes.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. You gotta keep it clean, touch gloves, let's do it.
So Elevation Fight Team trying to get the bookend wins tonight. Austin Hubbard began the evening with a huge win over Max Roshkoff, and now Curtis Blaydes will try to cash here as a -400 favorite.
Ready, fight!
All right, tonight's fight clock is brought to you by Toyo Tires, the official tire of UFC. Curtis Blaydes is in black, Volkov is in white. Early single leg for Blaydes, and he dumps Volkov. So if you had under 10 seconds for the first takedown, go cash your ticket.
This was my big concern for Volkov because I mentioned the fight with Verdun before, and Verdun, whilst being a terrific grappler, isn't necessarily the best takedown artist, and he got Volkov down time and time again.
Stand up and face us.
Well, look at this, nice work.
Oh, I love how he hooked that ankle, and that's what stopped Volkov from being able to use the fence. Is Blaydes got right in between him and the fence. He'll hook that right leg of Volkov and get between him and the fence. But this is what I was talking about. Look at all the energy that Volkov's going to use carrying the weight of Blaydes here as he works his way up.
You know, for Volkov, though, being 6'7", being a former professional kickboxer, he said, this is every time I fight. Everybody always wants to take me down. So, you know, he's prepared for this. He's been here before. He knows what to do. But that said, there is levels to the game. And I would say Curtis is by far the best wrestler that he's faced so far.
Blaydes came in with a division high historically, 45 takedowns. Already 2 can be added to that total here, about a minute gone by.
Yeah, and you see how he's over the top of the head of Volkov. It makes Volkov not be able to get his hips underneath him. His head's still lower than his hips. And that really carries a lot of weight. It makes you very tired when your head is low like that and Blaydes is higher than him.
Yeah, Volkov is just being nice and patient now. You see him here, okay, he's eating those knees to the butt. They're not nice, they do hurt. But he's just like, okay, I'll ride out this position. I'll wait for you to let go of your grip. Because that's what he's got to do. You notice a second ago, Volkov tried to stand up in this position here. Then he went back down to a knee because he was worried about going for a ride, about being thrown in the air. At least in this position here, it's not a 50-50, but they're kind of in a stalemate.
Well, Blaydes definitely has the hand control. And I wouldn't say it's a stalemate. I'd say Volkov's getting dominated.
Well,
right
it wasn't a second ago, mate. It was definitely a stalemate.
I disagree completely, but that's okay. And right now we got Blaydes with double underhooks as Volkov tries to work his way to the feet. And right now it's pure heavy weight over the top of Volkov's head. I mean, this is not where Volkov wants to be in any shape or form.
No, far from it, but you can't freak out. You've got to take your time and be composed, you know. The fact of the matter is he is in this position, so you've just got to, like, you know, you've got to be strategic. You can't freak out. You can't spaz out. You've just got to see what Curtis is going to give him, because right now he's on top, he's got a grip, and he's kneeing his backside repeatedly, and those do hurt.
I'd like to see Volkov get the hand control back. He needs to get his right hand. He can dig his left hand in between the hands of Blaydes and be able to pop that wrist out. He's got to get his hand back if he's going to get out of this position. Then after he gets his hand back, I'd like to see him move that left elbow in between him and Blaydes and scrape Blaydes off on the fence. But the first step is hand control. He's got to get that. Volkov has to get his right hand back or else he's not getting out of here. And he's just holding on to Blaydes' hand there so Blaydes can't better his position, but Volkov's also stuck here.
Most takedowns Volkov has previously surrendered in the UFC 3 against Fabricio Verdum. That was back in 2018. Already 4 for Curtis Blaydes here through 3.5 minutes.
Straight on the face and just carrying all the weight. I mean, this is like high school wrestling 101. You get the body control, you get hand control, you hang over the top, and you just ride people. How many times have we seen Cain Velasquez in the early days do this to guys, punching them, wailing on them, and then when they get up, he hits them with punches again. You know, Blaydes doesn't even let go of anybody. He just stays on top of you, grinds, and rides you out position-wise. I mean, there's nothing Volkov's doing here to get out of this other than just waiting and hoping Blaydes makes a mistake.
Well, he's waiting for Blaydes to separate his grip. That's what he's waiting for. And then when he separates his grip, he can make his move. But until he does that, there's not much else he can do.
The issue is losing the hand control war here with Curtis Blaydes, so you can't get up unless you win the hand control. It's hand control, then you stand to your feet, and Blaydes is winning the hand control.
He's trying to get the Kimura here. He's getting the Kimura grip, of course. There's no submission threat, per se.
Total strikes, no surprise to see them piling up for Curtis Blaydes here. Herb Dean monitoring the action closely, but Blaydes staying busy.
There you go. Now Volkov has his hands back. Now he's got to keep his balance, try to stay up on his feet, and he can't because Blaydes
defense
always attacks the balance. If he's not attacking the hand control, he's attacking your balance. And this is what you also see Khabib Nurmagomedov do so well. He hangs in this position, controls the hands. When you try to stand up, he breaks your balance, gets the body lock again, and keeps dragging you down, and that's what we're seeing Blaydes do here.
All Curtis Blaydes in round 1. Round 2 begins on the feet. It's yours next. Curtis Blaydes' side. Really for the last half a decade there in Colorado. Nice land by Blaydes early round 2.
I knew this is what Blaydes was going to do. He's got to be careful. Because now Volkov, all his attention is to stopping the takedown. And then this is when Curtis does his best work with the hands.
Volkov's best punch is his right uppercut. And that's what Blaydes got to watch out for. But Blaydes' best punch is that right hand.
And Blaydes didn't seem too concerned with the Volkov power, having been in there with guys like Alistair Overeem, Mark Hunt, and one Francis Ngannou.
Hey, when you've been hit by Ngannou, you're not bothered about anybody's power. Oh, there it was.
You could see how powerful Blaydes is when he lands those punches. Incredible. And that shot plowed right through, kept running his feet, and now we're right back in round 1 again.
Too good, too good. And now if you're Volkov, you're battling frustration, I would imagine, in some part.
He's got to get to a hip, staying square on your butt like this. It allows Blaydes to stay very strong. You'll see Blaydes get behind him again. At least he got the whizzer. That's the overhook with that left arm Volkov got. But now you're seeing Blaydes control the hands again on that far side up against the fence, and that's the issue. He's got to get his hand control back.
If Volkov is able to separate here, if he can break the grip and get out into the open, he's got to let his hands go, because if he hesitates again, this is what Curtis is just going to do time and time again. This is even worse for Volkov now because they're away from the fence. In the early days of MMA, they wanted you against the fence because, you know, they punish you up against the fence. But these days, you use that to stand up. Now for Volkov, getting back to his feet, unless he's got some really nice sweeps, it's going to be a lot harder.
7 takedowns and counting for Curtis Blaydes. His career best in the UFC is 10.
He's going to fight for it, and that's when he starts. No can opener. Watch his hips. You follow his hips.
Volkov trying to control posture here.
Yep, in the hand position. I need that other hand off the floor, Bubba. Let's go. Come on, get that other hand off the floor. There we go. There we go.
Volkov is savvy on the ground, though. I mean, I mentioned that fight with Verdum again. Obviously, Verdum, one of the best heavyweights in the world at jiu-jitsu. And, you know, he was able to get back to his feet. He was able to defend submissions. You know, and it looks like, you know, potential for an armbar there because Curtis keeps leaving that right arm outstretched. But he's got to be aware of that.
Yes, sir.
Volkov, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, has a lot of good chokes in his arsenal. And some special ones that he referenced with us on Thursday, but the opportunities for him in this fight thus far have been few and far between.
One big pop, and then give me a rip.
Right now, Volkov it would do really good for him to start getting his legs into this equation from the bottom, put him on the hips of Blaydes, maybe try to off balance him with some butterfly hooks, something. But right now with Volkov on the outside of Curtis Blaydes' arms, while Curtis Blaydes has the inside position here, he's allowed to keep elbowing him, control the position, and the clock could just burn here, and Blaydes is using no energy whatsoever.
He's also not offering much offense, though, either. He's got to be careful because Herb might stand them up. I mean, he's got a great position. This is where he wants him. But as we know, you have to work in this position. And, you know, he's winning. He's on top, but he's not particularly busy.
His hands are on the mat, so that's one thing. Now he got the hands off the mat. Now he might be able to get to work. But when you put your hands on the mat, it allows Volkov to get those overhooks, and it limits his movement.
Hands on his chest. Both hands. Both hands. Yes. I need you to win this hand position.
Oh, there we go.
That'll buy him some more time.
That'll wake Volkov up as well, or put you to sleep, one or the other.
Let's go.
Oh,
Goodness.
and again.
And we saw this on Overeem.
Yep.
When we saw Blaydes land those elbows on Overeem, it was scary. And he's looking to do the same thing here.
Trying to elbow guys' heads through the canvas. Less than a minute here to go in round two. It has been all Curtis Blaydes thus far. Ground control time, almost 8 minutes. You see Volkov getting on a hip here, but that guard is closed,
Yeah, I mean, he's got to put the feet on the hips here. Right now, you're not threatening any submissions. You're not off balancing. You're not working inside position. You're not working hand control. You're pretty much just making sure Blaydes doesn't knock you out on the floor. There we go. Now he's trying to get his legs involved, but Blaydes
There we go.
Volkov right to his feet, immediately lands the body kick.
He should have done that 3 minutes ago, though.
Right. Another late shot in the round from Blaydes.
Whoa, down he
no
goes.
Surprise, he lands it. Round three next.